5:30 the next morning, and the weather's right to go to Providenciales, Provo, in the Turks and Caicos. So today it'll be adios Bahamas. We got a half night of sleep last night after that long 31.5-hour sail over here. Lindy's up here pulling up the anchor. We made it out of Abraham's Bay and through the reef. No wind out right now. Just calm, and be watching the sunrise here shortly.
After 2.5 months in the Bahamas, we were excited to have a nice weather window for the 12-hour passage to the Turks and Caicos.
We've gotten about halfway across the Caicos Passage. Just a few more hours to go and we'll be on the bank over there. And we've ended up with a great little motor sailing wind. It's just a little too light and a little too much on the nose to turn off the engine, but it's really helping us make good time and use less diesel. So, oh, it's just really pleasant out on the water today. Ocean swells are coming off the port side over here, gently lift us up and set us back down every few seconds. And with the light wind, there's none of the wind chop, so it's really pretty. We're just chilling out, watching the day go by. Oh yeah, the sailing wind has filled in. We got about 10 more nautical miles to go to Sandboard Channel. We can probably sail into it, so we'll see. Right, this is an awesome day on the water.
Off in the distance, we could see the bright blue water of the Caicos Bank, where depths rise from 10,000 feet to just 10 feet. Got the Bahamas courtesy flag down and the old Q flag up. We made it into the Turks and Caicos. We're tied up here to the dock. It's the next day. I was so tired last night, we didn't take any videos. We just got our first good night of sleep in what seemed like a week. And now we're here. We're gonna go do some touring around the island. So check out the Turks and Caicos, Provo. We joined our friends Brian and Denise on Tondatula for some island exploration.
we've been in the Turks and Caicos here in Provo for a few days now. We've been spending a lot of time with Brian and Denise on Tonda-Tula. We're also making plans to do the next few legs at least with them as we move towards the Dominican Republic. We're planning to, if the weather looks good, to leave the marina tomorrow, head out and anchor close by, and then leave the very next morning to start the multi-day leg to the Dominican Republic. Should take about 3 days with an anchor in the middle. Now we've got to finish our chores, fill up the water and diesel today. We've also already done a bunch of engine maintenance and boat maintenance. Okay, we've moved over to the anchorage at Sapodilla Bay, still here in Providenciales. We're all a go for leaving in the morning to head across the Caicos Banks to Long Cay, where we'll stage to go to the Dominican Republic. So all the weather looks great. Lindy, you ready for all this?
Yep.
Cool. And it's really pretty over here at Sapodilla. Got Tonda-Tula back here. Looks like they're taking a swim. A few other boats around. Sapodilla Bay.
We left Sapodilla Bay at sunrise for an 8.5-hour passage across the Caicos Bank. It was a beautiful day as we glided across the crystal clear waters.
Anchors down here at Long Cay, the very edge of the Caicos Bank, just before the Turks Island Passage, where we're going to exit tomorrow and head for the DR. So, Lindy got us anchored. How'd we do?
Good.
All right, let's see what it looks like out here. Tonda-Tula's getting set.
there's a settlement on South Caicos over there, and this is Long Cay. And then out there is the deep water of the Turks Island Passage, and off that direction will be the Dominican Republic, 110 nautical miles away. We'll start off real early tomorrow morning and start making our way there. If we go straight, it'll be 24 hours, so we'll get there the following morning.
After a beautiful sail, we settled in to relax and watch our last sunset in the Turks and Caicos.
We're up and about. We've got the boat all prepped. We'll get underway here in a second. We're still leaving very early, right here at sunrise, and we should arrive to Luperon hopefully a little before sunrise or right at sunrise. You ready?
Yep.
Me too. Let's see how Tondatula's doing. They look like they're ready back there. All right. Let's get this show on the road. As we upped anchor, we were starting a passage that had been in the back of our minds since before even leaving Florida. Even though the weather forecast was very good, we were nervous that this day had finally arrived. And we've got the motor off and the sails up. We're just tootling along at around 4 knots in light wind conditions. But we don't need to go much faster than this, or we'll arrive before the sun comes back up again tomorrow. So we're just going to go like this for now. It's pretty comfortable so far for a crossing that we're rather nervous about. So if it stays like this. The long sail from the Turks and Caicos to the Dominican Republic is a notorious leg for boats making their way to the Caribbean. Most of the stories that we had heard and read of this passage included large seas, slow going, and higher than expected winds. Not to mention the fact that upon arrival we're in a brand new country with all the unknowns that go along with that. This benign beginning to the day seemed too good to be true, but we sat back and enjoyed the sail, hoping as hard as we could that things wouldn't change. So far, so good. We're having a ridiculously easy and comfortable sail in light winds. We got an early start, so we've even got a reef in the main and the head sail reefed in to slow us down even a little bit more for a sunrise arrival, which makes it even more comfortable. We keep on knocking on wood saying, if we can just sail like this, just right up to Luperon, we'd be ecstatic. Of course, it's probably not going to happen. At some point, something will change, the winds will die, or they'll get stronger, or it'll rain, or the swells will get big, but we can hope at least. All right. What do you think, Lindy? Better than you expected it might be?
For sure.
By what margin?
At least like 75%.
The wind has died on us, so we're motoring. It's about 4:30. It's really pretty out. Nice conditions. We've got about 61 miles to go. Started out 101, so we've been 40 miles. We're back to sailing again with the motor off. It's really comfortable out here still. And sun's starting to get low, so we'll get to watch a cool sunset in a little bit. Just moving along. Dark outside, and we're just sailing along. We're over halfway to the Dominican Republic. We've got 45 nautical miles left to go to Luperon, and I'm taking the first watch here. Lindy's taking a little rest, and things are going good.
Despite having virtually ideal conditions for this long passage, sailing at night is always a little scary. We take turns on watch, switching every 3 to 4 hours, and we take extra safety precautions, such as staying in the cockpit and tethering ourselves to the boat.
I took a nap, and now I'm back on watch. It's 11:30. The wind's died on us, so we've got the motor on. Passing by this cargo ship over here. And we can see the lights of the Dominican Republic up there, but we still got about 30 miles to go. So yeah, everything's going well. Well, it's been a mostly uneventful passage, but here we're about 2 hours out of Luperon, and we've run into a rain squall. So it's pouring rain, visibility's down low, and yeah, now we're all wet. And we'll be glad when it stops raining. How are you doing, Lindy?
Good. I was about ready for a nap, but then this happened, so I guess that'll be postponed for a bit.
All right, we're making our approach to the Dominican Republic. Should be starting our way in the channel into Luperon within the hour. It's finally stopped raining, and the sun's about to rise. Wow, what a night. Gray morning, lots of clouds. I can see Tondatula out there. They're about a mile or so behind us. All right. All right. 24 hours after we left Long Cay in the Turks and Caicos, and it's time to take the sail down, head into Luperon. It would be nice to get the anchor down or to grab a mooring. But all in all, that was a really good passage. So, well, I shouldn't speak too soon, but it's been a really good passage. Light winds and easy sailing. We didn't need to go fast, and we got here right at the right time. Just that one little rain squall.
It's always exciting to see land as you near the end of an ocean passage. Although we could see the lights of the Dominican Republic several hours earlier, to see the mountains and rugged coastline in full daylight really was breathtaking. As we neared Luperon, the smell of the earth, trees, and flowers replaced the smell of the ocean.
We made it. We are tied up to a mooring ball here in Luperon. Everything is wet. The boat's a mess. But it's just really cool looking here. There's the government docks. And then here's the whole harbor. So, we're going to try to gather our wits about us because we're tired as can be, and get the boat a little cleaned up, and then we will go in and try to check into the country. So that's the next adventure. But super glad to be here and hang out, see the sights. Awesome.